What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today, as promised in yesterday's video, we're going to do a Ruin a Randomer style live com today. We're going to be playing in Division 1 and hopefully getting ourselves a win. Now before we go there, I've completed a few daily objectives. I don't know if I'm going to be bothered to do the weekly objectives. They're pretty cool objectives to be fair. Ooh, a free fitness card. I will take. I need more of that, EA. I want to see more of that free. Give me another one. Another one. Oh, gold gift pack. Yeah, I want to see more of those daily objectives giving squad fitness cards. That would be ideal. In our gold gift pack, we get trash bags, but I'll take it. Now, today is Wednesday that you're watching this, and we are 2 days away, I think, from... 2 days away from... Ooh, is that so, EA? Damn. Yeah, we're 2 days away from the hopefully team of the group stage. I think my team of the group stage upgrades, depending on who it is going to be Kimmich if he gets one and Ronaldo if he gets one. And I will change the team. I'm happy to sell Vieira. It's crazy, right? Like, I know Vieira's like the go-to guy. I know he helped me get Elite 1. I know he's just all-round beast player, you know, insane stats. But if we actually compare him to Kimmich, he's not like insane. Now, like, let's take out of consideration the fact that he's 6'4", and the fact that Kimmich is 5'9". Kimmich has similar work rates, high, medium versus medium, and Kimmich has a 4-star weak foot. If we look at the in-game stats, Kimmich has the same acceleration but 10 less pace. So that was 10 less sprint speed, so that's noticeable. Kimmich has better shooting generally, more shot power, about the same long shots, a little less finishing but much better positioning. Kimmich has considerably better passing, better curve, better long pass, much better short pass, better free kick accuracy, better crossing, and a little bit worse vision. He has a lot worse composure, which could potentially be a big impact. But generally speaking, he has better or the same dribbling. You know, he's got one less reactions, but the rest is the same. With a Shadow Chem style on them, they both have near identical defending. So Vieira has a bit more interceptions on the base card, but with the Shadow, that both gets upgraded to 99. Or is it 97 for Kimmich? Either way, like, it's basically the same. Heading accuracy as well, very similar. And then marking, slide tackle, and stand tackle are the same. And then in terms of physicals, Kimmich has better jumping, better stamina, a little less aggression, and a little less strength. But my point to be made is, not that Vieira isn't great, because I've loved this Vieira card, but that Vieira is not the difference in this team. Ronaldo was. So if I can't... I was going to say, if this Vieira was like 1.9 or something, he would be gone. So if I can sell Vieira and get, for example, I don't know, a Casemiro into this team, maybe a team, I don't know if Casemiro deserves team of the group stage, but we'll have a look at who comes out during team of the group stage. But if I can get like a good midfielder to replace Patrick Vieira at CDM, or just a good centre midfielder and to put Matuidi back in at CDM, because Matuidi is fantastic, I'll do that. So if we could do that, that would be great. And then I can upgrade, I can sell Vieira and Ronaldo to buy the better version of Ronaldo, but only if he's value for money. You know, this Ronaldo right now is 2.1 million, and he's insane. So I don't know what I would require to see for a better version of Ronaldo, but we're in a good spot. And, you know, we've got 100,000 coins there up on the account. I've got a few investments that are starting to sell off right now, which I'm happy with. And we're going to go into a Division 1 game here where we're going to tackle some more of these comments. But guys, if you could drop a thumbs up, it would be very much appreciated. This team obviously got me Elite 1. I love this team. This is the best team I've used so far this year. To a man, there's not really a fault. There's a few minor issues with a few players here or there. Rui Costa doesn't have the greatest finishing. Thierry Henry, of course, is on 7 chemistry. Matuidi only has a 2-star weak foot. Patrick Vieira doesn't have medium-high work rate. So there's areas to improve on, that's for sure. But I'm generally super chuffed with this team. I think this team is just really good for me personally. So I Bake a Cakes. Why does that name ring a bell? That name does ring a bell. I wonder if this is going to be a guy with like a super team or red cards. Maybe I played him in Foot Champs and that's where I see his name from. Maybe I've seen him on the leaderboards. That's where I see his name from. So yeah, that's a good team, isn't it? That's a full-on meta team as well. So that's the team we're going to be facing today. But the first comment is from Nathan McDonald. Says, "Hey Nep, whenever I use 4-1-2-1-2, my CM and Cam always switch places during the game. How do I stop this? Big fan, keep up the good work." I don't know, to be honest with you. I've never once had this problem, and I continuously switch to 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. I've been seeing people have an issue with this a lot. But yeah, as I say, you know, I switched to 4-1-2-1-2 narrow there, just like that. My instructions, we go like that, and then we switch the team around as so. Henry up into the striker, and Goretzka. Wait, what? Did I come in with my team the wrong way around? Did I switch those around already? Oh well, never mind. If I came in with not the perfect chemistry, that's my bad. Yeah, that's how my team looks, and I never have an issue where Kimmich swaps with Costa. But even if Kimmich and Costa did switch, I wouldn't actually be that bothered, because Kimmich has got really good offensive abilities and Costa would make a good centre mid as well. So that wouldn't really be a problem to me. So yeah, for me, dude, not too much of a problem. Next up is from Rick Thatcher. Says, "Has the entire comment section suffered a stroke?" And that literally, dude, is just a bot. There was a problem with this last year. I can't remember how it happened, how long it lasted for, or whatever. But yeah, there's just a bot. I don't know if it's somebody botting my comments personally, or if it's just a YouTube general issue, you know, where just every channel's suffering from it, or, you know, if it's someone just trying to, you know, ruin the integrity of, oh, I've used second man press there and Mbappe is through, that's going to be a goal. That's literally my own fault. I did really good this weekend to not use second man press, and I used it there. I pulled the centre back out with it, and boom, Mbappe is through on goal. That's my bad. That's completely my fault. You'll see it here. Look at that. I don't even know where my centre backs were there, but that's a bad start. But yeah, the comment section is like that due to bots, unfortunately. So I hope YouTube can resolve that issue, or I hope the person that's spending their money and their resources on botting me will stop. That would be great too. Let's see if we can get ourselves in here with Alexandro. We've got a good crossing opportunity. Keeper comes out nicely. Vieira should win that header. Didn't. Look, I've used second man press again right there. That's nice from Boateng. Ooh, this game it's become quite laggy. Out of nowhere, it was a really strong connection as well, but it did take a long time to find the game. So that's a bit sad. I'll read the next question just in the next break of play as well. Let's see if we can get ourselves Ronaldo in. Goretzka there, nothing doing. I think he was offside there. So the next comment is Champs Dude Lols says, "Your thoughts on the pro cheating scandal?" Just what's the point? That's like, you know, these dudes, a lot of the people that have been accused of cheating, and I say accused because you don't know the truth, you know, only they know the real truth, and if EA decide to punish them, then, you know, you kind of get an understanding of the truth off the back of that as well. But just what's the point? You know, I know like everyone works so hard to build up their YouTube audience and to make their channel the best it can be, to potentially risk that for a few extra wins on Weekend League. What's the point? You know, imagine I did cheat, right? Imagine I cheated to get to just 34 wins. I'm like, hey, let me cheat to 34 wins. It's not even top 100. I got 34 before, like, legitimately, so people aren't really going to question it. Imagine I did that and nobody questioned it. Week after week, you know, okay, so I get 34 wins this week, have a couple of weeks of not cheating, start cheating again and get 34 wins again, like, every third week or something. And then it comes out where someone's like, hey, Nepo's cheating, here's the proof. Now, everything I've worked for on every road to glory every year, all my FUT Champs rewards and results this year, everything I've done, you know, on these free-to-play accounts that we use and utilize, it's all gone. It's all gone. Nobody will ever trust me again. How can you trust what I've done if I've cheated? So people will start disliking the videos, people will stop watching the videos, and I would have burnt my entire social media career because I couldn't do it properly. And that's just, in any stretch of imagination, it's not worth it. And sure, you might get a little bit of short-term gain. You know, oh, you're finishing top 100 or you're finishing Elite 1. That's really awesome. This guy's such a good YouTuber. Look how good he makes, you know, he's doing this with a cheap team. He's doing this like this. He's doing this like that. You might get that short-term gain and that short-term financial boost, but it won't be long-term. And ultimately, in my opinion, it will never be worth it. So yeah, I think for those that have cheated, they know who they are. They know that they've cheated, and they deserve to be punished for it. You know, at the end of the day, and I think the saddest part is that, you know, a couple of the guys that have been the most accused, with facts and proof and such, those dudes, one of them has a family and you know, has kids, and relies on YouTube as his source of income, and he's jeopardized that. That's what I can't understand. You know, when I went through my problems with Foot Galaxy, regardless of hows, whys, whens, and what fors that I got there, the one thing that I was so disappointed in myself more than most is the potential that I'd affected my daughter's life, and she doesn't deserve that. She's you know, she's 2 years old. She doesn't know better. She doesn't deserve anything bad her way. You know, she hasn't done anything to deserve any negativity or any hindrances in life. And if, you know, if social media is your sole source of income, you know, if YouTube is how you make your money, and you risk that because you wanted to get 40 wins on a weekend league, that's just crazy selfish. And that's why I say as well that it's about, like, you know, the whole innocent until proven guilty, and they've been accused of cheating. Because as a parent myself, I can't imagine another parent jeopardizing the future of their children for a few extra wins on Foot Champs. I can't visualize it. I can't see it. Is that a goal kick? What? So that's my thoughts, I'd say, dude. Francis Roller says, Nep, do you reckon it'd be a good idea for EA to make composure stat out of 5 instead of out of 100, like skill moves and weak foot? I think it'd be way smart. I want to hear your opinion, though, please. Not really, dude. I don't even think skill moves and weak foot should be the way they are, I guess. I would actually like skill moves and weak foot to also be out of 100 or out of 99, per se. And the reason why I think I would like that is because somebody who has 4-star weak foot in one essence can actually have a better weak foot than another person that has a 4-star weak foot. You know what I mean? Like, if you made it out of 100s, you could have someone, like, effectively, if it was 20 points per star as it is now, you're saying that everyone with a 4-star weak foot has... Oh, this could be a goal. Yes, that's a nice goal. Everyone that has a 4-star weak foot has 80 points, and that's it. But it might be a scenario where Ronaldo's 4-star weak foot is 94 points, and Hazard's 4-star weak foot is 87 points. So I actually think the broader the spectrum, the better, because it gives you a more diverse appearance of every single individual player. What my biggest problem is although we now understand what composure is, we still don't know how well it's affected. For those of you that don't know, composure is basically the distance from which the player carrying the ball. So see that guy that was on the ball there? If he had low composure, just my player being near him would cause him to have worse shooting, worse passing, worse dribbling, worse crossing, and do his skill moves a little bit worse, right? That would be the truth. So the higher the composure, the less they're affected by the presence of opposition players. That's essentially what it is in terms of you know, working there. Oh, come on. I work so hard for my goals, and he gets that. Come on. Yeah. So like basically the presence of the defenders or the opposition players affects the players less the higher the composure. But although we know that now, and that could then say, okay, so composure is seemingly an incredibly important stat because of that. But we don't know what it affects, how much by, and from where. And I think that's stupid. You know, I think, okay, so 95 composure on Ronaldo and the 85 composure on somebody else, that might be a situation where it's such a small margin that it actually looks the same if you were to visualize it. But it might be such a big margin where actually this is a huge difference in the players. You know what I mean? So no rebounds. So yeah, I would just like to be able to visualize the stat differences. That's my opinion. Half time here, guys. We're 2-2. I don't really know how well this game's going. I'm so focused on talking. I mean, I've been dominating this game. I'm quite. That second goal was just cheese. That was just cheese. That was a hard one to take. Chrissy768 says, Nepo, why do you shush your opponents and dab them? When they didn't do any disrespectful celebrations, it grinds my gears. That's exactly why. It grinds your gears. So the person I do it against, it grinds their gears. This is a competitive game mode, dude. Any edge you can get it. I don't do it a lot. I don't do it often. I generally do it if the gameplay... Like, you guys only see the goals, right? So it doesn't matter if they do a celebration or something or not, or that causes that, right? It might be a case of where I go 2-1 down and then they start passing it around their defenders. And so if I then pick up the ball and get a goal, yeah, I might shush and dab because they've you know, taken it upon themselves to try and wind me up and haven't taken the game super seriously. So I've taken it upon myself to try and wind them up. You know, it's all part and parcel of the game. But the bottom line is, I used to do it a lot during FIFA 17, and people got angry at it. Like the comment section, and even this comment section now, like you guys right here, you're getting angry at it. Not the comment that I specifically chose, but just in general, I saw a lot of angry people calling me all sorts of names and stuff for using a celebration in the game, right? A celebration in the game, guys. That's what it is ultimately. It's a celebration in the game. And that's why people use it, because some of you guys in this comment section got so triggered and it wasn't even against you. And that's why people use it, because it just bugs the life out of people very, very easily. Oh, I should have taken a touch out of Henry. That was a mistake there. Don't dive in, don't dive in, don't dive in. Just track back, and then wait for the stop and turn. Oh no, he hasn't done it. Good save, good save. That's literally his 4th shot in the game. Come on, we can get a win here. We can get a win here. He read that. That was well played from him. Managed to get away with that. Oh, Henry's through there. It's a nice ball. Oh, you jammy. Oh, he's giving it. I tell you what, I feel like I deserve that, because that was a jammy tackle. He tried to tackle me. Like his gut took the ball, but then he took the man afterwards. He gets a yellow card for it as well. Yeah, look at that. Like his gut gets the ball, and then he slides it. I mean, I'd be a little bit annoyed, not going to lie. Let's give this ball to Cristiano Ronaldo. Yes, Cristiano Ronaldo. Next comment is from Cristobal. Says he always does the heart with his hand celebration, which I actually just did there. And that's a celebration. Like, I don't really focus too much on doing celebrations in game, right? I just generally do something that I'm naturally inclined to do. Like I do it without, you know, off instinct is what I do. So more often than not, I do a celebration off of instinct. The only time where I focus on, okay, I'm trying to wind this guy up, or I'm trying to do a celebration that's going to frustrate this guy or potentially get under this guy's skin, is when they've done something that either did succeed in getting under my skin, or that was them trying to get under my skin, whether it be switching formation or time wasting or watching all of the cinematics during a celebration, you know, things like that. Those are the sort of things where I'm like, okay, you know, you want to play that game? We can play that game. If you want to try and get under my skin, I'm going to try and get under your skin. And sometimes it backfires, and sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, my go-to celebration is usually the heart celebration. Oh, Live-O, no 4G needed, Live-O. I love 5-star skillers for that exact move. How often do you see people do that? Never. You never, ever, ever expect that to happen. Is he going to rage quit off the back of that as well? Or is he making tactical changes? That was an insane goal. So, Mr. Nasher for the next comment. Let's have a look. This guy must just be making tactical changes. What a team this guy's got as well. He bought off Herrera for Pastore. That's interesting. Who's he got there? Ljajic, Aurier, Traore. I mean, he might bring on Traore, but for who? Who's not on the field? Like, he's got his best 11 out on the... In fact, he's got 10 of his best 11 on the field. The other person that's probably better, I think Herrera would be better than Pastore. But yeah, I think he's got his best 11 out there. Mr. Nasher says, at 3:15, how does Bakayoko score that? I honestly don't understand when his shooting isn't great and neither is his curve. Shooting is broken as F and the keeper should have saved that. My answer to that is, I don't mind when people score those wonder goals with players that have low shooting, because they don't have zero shooting. You know what I mean? They have... Bakayoko has like, what, 70-something for finishing. It's not zero. So at what point in the game... does somebody with low shooting still be able to say, hey, I can score goals? You know what I mean? Like, I could understand if he hit it every single time he took the shot from that range, it went in. But that's not the case. That was literally a one-off. that never really happens. So I don't, it's frustrating when you're on the back end of that because you're like, oh my god, like this guy has done nothing the whole game, is managed to get one long shot, it's with a guy who's got low shooting and it's flown in. Those ones are really frustrating. But if you actually mark down the number of times someone shot against you with Bakayoko and it's gone flying over the bar, come on Benatia. Yeah, and it's gone flying over the bar, you'd realise that you concede those goals once in a blue moon, and that's fair. That is just fair, because it's not zero shooting. You know what I mean? And that's my only argument. And there have been times where I've scored bangers with players that don't have the greatest shooting too, and there's been times where I've scored bangers on people's weak foot. I scored a like 25-yard volley with Antonio Valencia on his 1-star weak foot. That must be about 12 shooting, and I scored it. Because there has to be a point in time where, like, if you think of the numbers as a game of RNG, so the higher number, the higher the accuracy. But when, you remember the penalties of FIFA 16, where it would have a bar, and it would be red on the outside, and then it would go yellow and orange the further you went in, and eventually it would go green. And the higher the penalty stat, the bigger the green bar was. So you was able to, with a higher penalty stat player, you was able to be more efficient in your penalty taking because the green bar was bigger. Imagine shooting as that. Imagine there's like a visualization of a bar along the bottom. And if you've got somebody with 99 shooting, it's basically all green with a little bit of orange, red and yellow on the outside. And if you've got someone with low shooting, it's got a little bit of green with a lot of big reds and yellows and stuff. And what happens is when you press the shoot button, the game uses those stats of you and the stats of the goalkeeper and the composure and takes all things into consideration and decides where on that bar that line is going to hit, essentially. So that's how I try and visualize it, and that's how I try and use it to make myself get better at this game, trying to take instances where unfortunate things happen against me and try and rationalize them, because when you can rationalize things like that, oh, I should have just turned inside there and shot. When you can rationalise things like that, you can learn how to get better at this game. And I'm not by any means saying that, because I got Elite 1 again, that I'm like some super player or anything. I don't think I am. I think I've just got a really good team and a good understanding of how the game works. But in terms of actual game mechanics and gameplay, I'm nowhere near the level that I would love to be at. So, there's that to take into consideration. But I definitely think that if you can learn to accept that this game is a low skill-based game based on chance percentages, basically, like the higher percentage chance you take, the better opportunity you're going to have to do well. So again, for example, if you've got a player with really good shooting and you take a shot, you're expected to score. If you've got a player with really bad shooting and you take a shot, you're not expected to score. So if you get into a situation where you're clean through on goal in a 2v1, and in one of these situations, you've got Bakayoko carrying the ball, one-on-one, and Henry next to him for a tap-in, the highest percent chance to score there is to pass it to Henry to tap it in, because Henry's got better shooting. If, contrarily, you've got Thierry Henry running through on goal, and Bakayoko next to him, the highest percentage chance there is to take the shot with Thierry Henry because he's got better shooting. Even though squaring it to Bakayoko for a tap-in might seem like the better choice, it's not how FIFA works. So when you learn to manipulate, not necessarily the gameplay or the mechanics, but when you learn to manipulate the numbers, that's when you will be able to become a much better player. When you realise how things are successful, why they're successful, and how you can give yourself the best percentage chance of success rate, literally a higher success rate within your actions. That's when you'll start making the most of your gameplay and your games, and when you'll start edging out those games that are close games. Now, I can do that to an extent. When I come up against the pro players and stuff, their reactions are quicker than mine. They have a broader skill set. They understand the game mechanics a lot better. They understand their players a lot better, and it's also fair to say that they have better players. So, although I don't think team is like hyper important, I do think, obviously, again, having somebody with 99 shooting is going to give you a higher success rate than having someone with 79 shooting. So if you can make sure you get your team to be just solid in the sense of where it is, where you need it, that would be important for you. And that's why last year I was using strikers in centre midfield and stuff, because for me personally, the way I played this game, My high success came from winning the ball in midfield from set pieces. That's how I scored a lot of my goals, off of counter-attacks like that. So when I put somebody like Diego Costa in centre midfield, he was super powerful for me because he was really strong, he had a 4-star weak foot, he had good pace, and he was really tall. So he won a lot of balls for me that turned the play over, that allowed me to score easy goals. So it's about just, maximising your efficiency in the game will really help you. So back on to that Bakayoko instance, I'm not fussed if Bakayoko scores a goal against me like that, because he doesn't have zero shooting. You know what I mean? So hey, if he hits a banger, he hits a banger. You just have to deal with it and move on. Anyway, guys, we end up winning this game 6-3. That guy was a decent player. I wasn't really focusing much on the game there, but that was a Division 1 game. I quite dominated that game as well, actually. That puts me on to 15 points in D1 as well. So I've got 4 games left. I only need 3 wins or 2 wins and 2 draws to win the title for another occasion on the title there. That'll be my 11th consecutive title if I win it too. I'm beaten in terms of title wins so far. I've won 10 divisions out of 10. Really good spot to win Division 1 again. Whether or not that will happen, I don't know. We are now, guys, as well at 999 games. You might notice a lot of losses on my record too. Just to explain for those that would have, you eagle-eyed dudes, where that would have come from. I was testing out the glitches last night to try and compile them to a video for EA. Funnily enough, not the 4G one, because I don't know how that works, but there's 2 other glitches that were brought to my attention last night. I actually can't replicate either of them. I tried to replicate them so I could send like concise video footage commentated over to EA to give them a broader understanding of how the glitches work. I can't do them. I don't know what it is I'm doing wrong, but I can't replicate them. So that's where we're at. But anyway, guys, this is going to be the end of the video for today. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.